Alright guys, let's go ahead and just queue up again and see what we play against. Yeah, since the nerf happened, I've been seeing a ton of warrior at high ranks. I'm not really sure why. Because now that Unleash is nerfed and there's a lot less hunter, Shaman is really one of the best decks to be playing on ladder. Because now that Hunter's gone, that was basically its worst matchup. And Shaman's pretty strong against warrior. It's a very tough matchup to lose. Alright, Rogue. This is like my least favorite deck to play against. Rogue and Handlock. But we'll see if we can pull out a win. I am going first, which sucks because it means he gets coin. Which means if I play turn 2 Knife Juggler, he can play SI Agent and kill it. Then I lose. But hopefully it doesn't happen. Normally drawing a Doomguard early is pretty bad, but this card's pretty phenomenal against Rogue, so as long as I don't draw the second Doomguard, I'm pretty happy. It would be nice to get a 2-drop though. If I were playing against a Warrior, I think I would lead with Shield Bearer before Voidwalker to play around Fiery War Axe, but since I'm playing against Rogue, I'm just going to go ahead and play the Voidwalker first because it's 1 more damage. Just going to start attacking him early. Now, whenever you play against any class, you want to be thinking about what kind of AoE they can have. For Shaman, you want to keep Lightning Storm in mind. For Warrior, you want to be thinking about Brawl. For Rogue, you want to think about Blade Flurry. So, remember against Warrior, I said it's better to play creatures rather than life tap, given the option. But that last time, I had a 3-drop set to go for next turn. This turn, if I play Shield Bearer and Voidwalker, the odds that I can use my mana on anything but life tapping next turn are very low. So I think I'm actually going to life tap this turn because getting this stuff in play isn't really going to accomplish much. When you see a Rogue deck, they're pretty much always combo, at least at high ranks. Miracle Rogue, they play Gadgets and Auctioneer, they're going to draw their whole deck in 2 turns and kill you with Leroy and Shadow Steps and stuff. So I'm going to life tap rather than playing 2 1-drops. It's a very rare play. I almost never do that, but since these don't have power really, it's just not worth it. If this was like a Flame Imp and a Young Priestess or something, I would definitely play the creatures instead though. So we'll see if Voidwalker ends up living here. Since he's thinking there, I'm like 99% sure he has SI Agent, which makes playing this 3-2 a little awkward because he's just going to kill that with the Battle Cry. But given the option of playing 1 3-drop or 3 1-drops, it's usually better to play the 3-drop. And the reason for that is that it's more flexible on where you can fit these into your curve. Like, for example, if I play all 3 of my 1-drops, next turn I can only use 3 of my mana for Shattered Sun. But if I play Shattered Sun, next turn I could life tap and play 2 1-drops, or if I draw a card that costs 2, I'm either I could play the 2-drop plus 2 1s. It just, when you keep the cheaper cards, it gives you more different ways to spend your mana. Even though he has SI Agent, I'm still gonna play this. Like, it's always gonna die to that card, and I don't want it rotting in my hand. At least this gets Voidwalker up to 2-4, so it doesn't die to Deadly Poison anymore. You always want to be keeping in mind what kind of removal your opponent can have. And especially when you play cards like Shield Bearer and Argent Squire, keep in mind where you position them. Like here I only have 2 creatures. Doesn't really matter where I put Shattered Sun Cleric because no matter what, it's going to be next to Voidwalker, and I can build the rest of my board around that. But normally you want to put Argent Squire and Shield Bearer in the middle, and kind of go over why later. I just talk about it now. It's pretty much because it gives you more options on which creatures to defend of Argus. Yep, he's going to blow up the board, and I'm not left with very much here. Okay, Flame Imp's not bad. I could play all 4 1-drops, but I never like playing Abusive Sergeant unless I'm using the Battle Cry that turn. I'll never play this card as a 2-1. So instead, what I'm going to do here is life tap. Alright, Dark Iron Dwarf, that's pretty good. Drop Flame Imp, and I'm going to protect him with Shield Bearer. Voidwalker has power, but I'm going to play Shield Bearer instead because it doesn't die to the Deadly Poison here. I just always want to make it as inconvenient as possible for him to kill my stuff. And try to keep little stuff in mind, like whether your opponent has coin or not, because if they have coin, then you know what options they have. Like this turn, you can play 5 mana stuff. Not that my hand can really do much about it. Let's see if he has Shiv. Novice Engineer, okay. Okay, a little mistake from him. He should always play the card that draws first, but I doubt it would have changed his play at all. Alright, so now I have a million options. One play that I'm definitely not going to make is playing Doomguard. I'll always like to play my other stuff first, because it's pretty much just as good, and you know, at a certain point you'll get to a spot where you can dump your hand and, you know, play like the one card in your hand and the Doomguard without having to discard anything. And the rest of this stuff gives them just enough trouble anyway. So yeah, I could play Dark Iron Dwarf, Abusive, kill that with saving my Soulfire, which is nice. I'll get this down to 1 health though, so we just died a Novice, and then this thing is live. There's the Shattered Sun play. I actually like this a lot. This isn't playing the 4-drop, which is unfortunate. Man, I'm going to get wrecked by Blade Flurry if I make this play. I was going to play Shattered Sun plus Abusive and then kill that, and then play a Voidwalker, but then I have a bunch of creatures that are at below 3 health. I'll just go with this original play. I'm not going to Soulfire because I don't want to risk discarding Doomguard. But yeah, he can kill Shieldbearer off with Novice, but then this 3-1 can't kill my 4-4. It can only kill the 2-1, which, you know, his hero power can do anytime anyway. I'm fine with this soaking up a Deadly Poison durability. And this way my board's not as vulnerable to Blade Flurry. This is a good turn for him to play Azure Drake, or, as is usually the case when I play against that deck, Gadgetzin Auctioneer into 5 preparations, drawing his deck and killing all my stuff and concealing. But we'll see. Usually they don't want to play a turn 5 Auctioneer unless they have coin to go with it, but he just used his coin last turn, so if he plays Auctioneer, he's going to have preparation with it. Alright, Sap, I can live with that. We'll see if he ends up attacking the 2-1. I hope he does. I think he will. Maybe not. Okay, if he doesn't attack here, then that's a real big sign of Blade Flurry. Okay, so he has Blade Flurry, I think. Well, what I want to do is play Dark Iron Dwarf and trade with the 3-3, and then play a Voidwalker and a Young Priestess. The problem with that is he would just play Blade Flurry, Dark Iron Dwarf would go to 1 health, and then he would finish it off with Novice Engineer. Maybe I'm okay with that. Alright, let's, yeah, and the Shattered Sun play wouldn't use all my mana. I guess I could life tap Shattered Sun Voidwalker, but I really don't like life tapping when I have a Soulfire and a Doomguard in my hand. I just like to get these cards out of my hand, because if you start life tapping, the odds that you draw a second Doomguard or a second Soulfire are so high, and at that point, your whole hand is just really clunky. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna go with this play, I think. Buff that guy, kill that thing, and go Voidwalker, Young Priestess. Can't risk pitching Doomguard. That was sick. Okay. See, the fact that it buffed Voidwalker is pretty good, actually. I guess no matter which one it buffed, he couldn't kill my entire board with just a Blade Flurry, so that's nice. Auctioneer. Okay, so I'm probably dead. Yeah, I think I'm going to lose next turn. Well, I'm not going to die next turn, but I'm definitely going to lose the game next turn. That's too bad. Alright, well, at least we drew Direwolf Alpha. So, here's a bit of a positioning tip. First, I'm going to play Direwolf Alpha. This is the way you sneak an extra point of damage out of this card. I'm going to be sure to attack with stuff that's buffed, and then afterwards, I'm going to put Doomguard next to something. So, I'm going to put Doomguard on the right side here, because if I put it on the left, Young Priestess is... Basically, Young Priestess is more likely to die than Dark Iron Dwarf, because it's just smaller. So, I'll put it over here. And now I get an extra point of damage because I already swung with Young Priestess. You have to get rid of a Soulfire, which sucks because it means my top decks are going to be a lot worse now. But, can't do much about it. He's already played 1 Sap, so I think getting rid of Doomguard will be a bit awkward for him, but the rest of the board should be easy enough to deal with. Unless he has a really bad draw, but that's... Rogue is so frustrating to play against because the game is mostly decided by their draw more than anything else. Alright, so he's going to backstab Direwolf. It's probably the best possible start. And I'll let him draw a card, kill my creature for free. It's exactly what I didn't want to see. Is this Earthring Farseer? What's going on? I like that he's thinking for a while. Hopefully that means that his hand's a bit awkward and there's no clear-cut, easy answer to this board. Direwolf already did its job. It actually did 3 damage. And traded for a backstab, I guess. Alright. If he saps the creature with charge, I don't mind, but I think he's going to do it to Dark Iron Dwarf. No, he sapped the creature with charge. Interesting. I wonder why he's doing that. Why don't he preparation the sap? To have more mana. He's just going for broke. He's going to try to kill me next turn. Alright, so it's a good play on his part. So I just need, what, 1 more damage? Well, luckily a lot of the cards in the deck do that 1 point of damage. That is not one of them. Alright, so I made a mistake. I should have played Doomguard before life tapping, but I'm dead. Shiced it out by Conceal as usual. This is the next card that's getting nerfed in the game, but not soon enough. Alright. No, can't win every game. Hopefully the next one goes better.